Yep, it's in Vegas. Yeah, go Hawks! So back in April, it's been quite a while now. Feels like it.
Well,
yeah, back in April.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
Back in April, we went on a short vacation during spring break. So we left here on April 1st through the 4th. I think it was a 4-day vacation. And we went to Vegas and where else?
And Arizona see the west rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yes. And so we had never been to the Grand Canyon. We've been to Vegas multiple times.
Both separately and together.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So we're going to kind of talk about that trip, to kind of show you what we saw and kind of what we experienced. And hopefully you enjoy this video. It will be a multi-part video. And I'm going to make you watch 4 hours of
Aren't you lucky?
Video. First 2 days we're in Vegas, and so let's talk about that.
Okay.
All right, so the trip started at 3:30 in the morning.
On April Fool's Day.
On April 1st. I didn't even think about that.
Just wait.
We were catching a shuttle to the airport, which we actually, I think this is the second time we've done that. And we actually find it better than parking at the airport, and probably it's more cost effective as well.
It is. And I usually like to book our flights where we have full days. So like an early flight to get there so we have the majority of that remaining day.
That's why we were up at 3:30.
Yeah.
The flight was leaving at 7. And so we get to the airport. We get picked up at 3:30. We probably get there by, I don't know, 4:30.
Our flight was supposed to leave at 7. So we got there in enough, your 2 hours that you're supposed to be there before your flight to go through security and all of that stuff.
Security was fine. I mean, it was crowded. Airport was crowded because this is where we live on the West Coast. A lot of people, not only was it spring break, but it was also people flying other places across the country. So
and Cjsketokitchen is an international airport, so they do a lot of, exchanges there.
Yeah, so
I think it while we were standing in security, we got the notification from Delta.
I can't remember. I just know we got through security fine. I mean, it was long, just like we expected. Got through security, then we got a message. I think we actually had already eaten as well. We're free for spring break. We're overjoyed. Can't you tell?
Except for our flight is delayed by 2 hours. So that was a lengthy start.
But you know what? Now that you just said that like that, there's been a lot of terrible stories about travel lately that people are spending days in the airport. So
it was not days.
So we did spend several hours in the airport waiting just to get on the flight. They both say ground.
So if you're unfamiliar with the Las Vegas airport, I think it's called McCarran Airport, the terminal itself where all the flights come in is in one large building, and then they have a bunch of outbuildings that are quite far away from the main terminal, and that is where their rental car area is located.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just go down some escalators and that kind of thing and you get to the rental cars like you do in a lot of your larger airports, or how it is in Cjsketokitchen. You actually are shuttled to another building farther away where all the rental car stuff was. So we had to wait for the shuttle to take us to the rental car area. And when we get to the rental car area, it's another building, the doors slide open and there's our line.
Yes.
At the door.
At the door. So basically going almost out the door. And so we get in line, and it's interesting because it was the only line that was that long was for budget rental car, which is who we had.
So now we booked our trip through Costco. So if you work at Costco in the travel department, does Costco send everyone to the same places? Like everyone that was in our line, if you listen to them talk, they also had booked through Costco.
Yes.
Similarly, later on, you'll find out that our accommodations were also the same. So I'm just wondering if they funnel everyone through the same things, because, you know, you looked around, Hertz didn't have anybody, Enterprise didn't have anybody, no lines, no nothing. And so it just makes me wonder if they're booking everyone through the same entities.
So it was like a package. I don't know if we could have chose not to stay at the Luxor.
Yes, we could have. In fact, when I called the first time, because I had called to find out how much it would be, and then CJ said, well, let me know. They give you like a reservation number so you can come back to it. They had booked us off Strip. And in hindsight, I think that we probably should have done that.
Okay.
Because we rented a car. The last time we were in Las Vegas was 2020, right before the pandemic hit, and we didnidn't rent a car. We stayed kind of mid.
We were at Caesar's Palace, which
so we were able to walk everywhere.
Right.
But this time we had a rental car, so we didn't necessarily have to stay on Strip.
So anyway, we get the car finally. We get to the hotel, and we're staying at the Luxor. We love anything Egypt themed.
Egyptology. If you don't know that. Yes,
we do, and we actually found out through my DNA thing that I've got some.
CJ is directly descended from Ramses III on his father's side, so I have my own little pharaoh here, which is very exciting.
Although she doesn't treat me like a pharaoh.
I treat you better than a pharaoh.
But anyway, I had been to the Luxor before. We stayed in the pyramid.
Well, and as CJ was saying, when you get to the parking garage, you park and then you walk, at least at the Luxor, you walk this great big long corridor, and then you get to one side of the casino, and where you check in and guest services is clear on the other side of the casino.
We basically had to walk through almost the
entire
casino.
So then we get there and discover that we are one of 50 people.
Yeah, another line.
And they did have 10 individuals servicing people, but still the line was not moving quickly.
No. So we finally get our room, we get our
another
keys.
2 hours.
Right. Another 2 hours? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we finally get our keys. Then we have trouble getting to our rooms. We just think that it's like a volume thing, because the keys control what floor you can go on, what you have access to.
Yeah, in a lot of the resorts, they don't want just stragglers and people coming in and going up to the floors and things like that, which is understandable. So usually your key card will allow you access into the elevator. Right. And we didn't realize that ours weren't functional. We didn't realize that until we'd been there for a day and a half. And then it was like someone in the elevator told us, well, you need to go and speak to concierge because that's not supposed to be happening.
It's not supposed to be
we didn't know that because I'd never stayed there.
Because you would expect that if you stood in the line that long,
they gave you the correct
and that you went to talk to the people who work there, who know what they're doing, that they gave you the right stuff.
Exactly.
Well, we didn't have the right stuff. So
we get up to our room.
We get to our
It's 4, 5 o'clock, we're starving. It's like, we gotta go eat, we gotta go, and we had planned on eating at buffets.
Yeah, so before we left, we had talked about we're gonna eat at some of these fancy buffets, and one of the ones that was on the list was the Wynn, the buffet at the Wynn.
Right.
It's expensive. We knew it was expensive.
Almost all the buffets in Las Vegas are expensive. They didn't used to be, but in the last 15 years or so, you're looking at anywhere from $50 to $100 a person, and that's standard.
But I will say that those probably are buffets that are the tourists on Strip.
Correct.
Close. There's other buffets that
Strip buffets are like that.
Right. There's other buffets outside of town that are cheaper, but we knew we wanted to go to the Wynn. Well, we knew because we had done research that a lot of the buffets, some of them are closed on Monday
Most of them are closed Monday and Tuesday, which was when we were in Las Vegas.
Right.
So.
And then some of them, the menu is, even if they're open, the menu is not the same. So like if you're going for seafood, which was one of the things I wanted was lobster.
It's not until like Wednesday or Thursday. Yes. And you're not there
and we're
on
not
those
there.
days. Yeah.
So, but we went to the Wynn, finally found somewhere to park.
And once again, you have to walk through the entire casino to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
So then we get there, and there was 100 people in front of us.
Lines.
And at that point, it was just like, So when CJ was in line for the rental car, I had texted him and said, do you want me to try and make a reservation for one of the steakhouses that we had researched?
Yes.
In addition to the buffets. There were a couple of them. One of them was called Cleaver, and its sister restaurant, Herbs and Rye, are extremely popular in Las Vegas.
Right.
And I had asked him if he wanted me to try and make a reservation. There were no reservations available for Herbs and Rye, but there was for Cleaver, the sister steakhouse. And he said, yeah, I guess, but we weren't anticipating needing to use it because we were going to go to the buffet.
So we had a 6 o'clock reservation there,
yes,
just in case.
Just in case.
Yes.
So while standing in line at the Wynn, we decided, forget this, let's go ahead and go to this restaurant and eat.
Right.
And it was ideal because it wasn't part of a casino. It was in a strip mall. You parked and you went. There was no more walking, and it's like I said, it's in a strip mall, so it's almost like speakeasy style, meaning the outside of the building, it's very difficult to tell that it's even a restaurant, which is similar to where we eat here when we are in Tacoma. We go to El Gaucho. There's no branding. There's a red door. That's it.
Yeah,
and there's a little tiny sign above it. It's very
most people
subtle.
Probably don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this was similar, where there was very little letting you know what it was, but then when you open the door, it's all luxurious inside.
Right.
So,
very luxurious.
Tapestry wallpaper and that kind of thing.
So we're both very tired and we're looking forward to a nice, delicious steak. I'll show you our steaks when they come. Because they're famous for their handling, butchered meats. And then we're going to go back to the hotel and go to sleep because we're old.
Is that what we're going to do?
That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to the casino.
You can go out dancing, buddy.
All right. Sorry I didn't have much to say. I'm beat. I think so.